from San Jose in California. Brandi Chastain joins us now. Brandi Chastain, it's really wonderful to speak to you. Thank you so much for being with us this morning here on Sky News. Just first of all, your reaction to what you saw last night with the Lionesses winning the cup.
Well, I have to say I've been a big fan of watching the Euros this year, and just to see the amount of talent in this tournament has been phenomenal. To know that 90,000 people sat in Wembley to watch women's football obviously is a huge achievement for all of these players. And when I saw the celebration, of course, a big smile on my face, and the thought about how her life and the life of all of those players for England will change immediately brought me great joy.
Yeah, let's just see if we can bring up the images of that celebration and, of course, what you did back in 1999. I mean, just talk us through what happened after you actually did that. You took your shirt off and celebrated when the US women's team won. I mean, it wasn't taken in the best of spirits, was it? There was a bit of criticism for your actions.
I think there was mostly joy and mostly acceptance, but of course there's always going to be somebody to say, why did you do that? But that opened it up to a wonderful conversation about the importance and the validity and the need for women's football to belong in the big stage. And so it was always a wonderful discussion to have for me, always an opportunity to share the greatness of the game and to continue to further along women in sports and our power and our strength that goes along with the work that we put in, just like our male counterparts.
Yeah, just amazing pictures, Brandi, that we're looking at right now of the split screen of you in '99 and Chloe last night. Now, just tell us, the US women's team is the most successful women's team of all time. Am I right in saying that? I mean, how do the England team now, after that great victory last night, sort of parlay that into going on and becoming a real force in world football?
Well, I think the FA has given, I think, a platform for this team and Serena Wegman to continue to do great work. Obviously, being at the top is very difficult. Winning a tournament like they just did is incredibly exhausting and all-encompassing. And so going forward is going to be probably as hard as it was to win this match. But the fact that they've done it now is a feather in your cap that nobody can take away, number one. For them to be able to know that it's possible, number two, gives great confidence to move forward. And what it will have done for the countless tens and maybe hundreds of thousands of young girls in England is to give them this dream that it is possible for them. And now the future of the Women's League in England and around the world will see that what we're doing is absolutely worthy and acceptable, and we can now all push forward. So the win in England is good for everybody, global football. It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah, absolutely right. Let's talk then about pay, remuneration for this, Brandi. I mean, as you'll know, the US women's team had to go to court to make sure that they were paid equally with the men's team. The women's team way more successful, and yet the men's team were getting paid way more. I mean, how do the England footballers try and make sure that they get paid what they deserve to get paid after winning an international tournament?
Again, I think for us, it was decades in the making. This is not something that happens overnight. However, this team has been around for quite some time. Obviously, the culture and the tradition and history of football in England on the men's side speaks for itself. Even though, winning a European championship or winning the World Cup is not something that comes extremely easily. And so, most countries don't get to even experience what the English women's national team just did. And so that is a reason enough to have the conversation, but also a shining example of why there is great value in what they did, and that the FA and every other federation within FIFA should see the value of that and accordingly act in terms of the monetary side of what these women are doing.
And finally then, Brandi, thank you so much for talking to us. I just wonder if you could tell us, what advice would you give to the girls this morning? I mean, obviously, when they take an aspirin and have a glass of water after celebrating last night, what's your advice to them to go forward from here?
Uh, to do so with great humility and to, spread the joy of teamwork and the determination and the hard work that it took to get there, the gratitude to everybody who's helped them along the way. It is to be grounded, to stay grounded, and to stay um, in the moment of the hard work that it took to get there, and to win such a tournament is really valuable. And I feel that that's been the fabric of the U.S. women's national team. That's been the fabric of the teams that I've been around and been successful with. And I hope that each one of those players will take pause and really take in what they have accomplished, because it is truly phenomenal. And I applaud each and every one of them and say bravo. And like I said in the text that I sent, or the Twitter that I sent out to Chloe Kelly, about the goal that Ella Toon scored, that we see you and we see the greatness that you are, and keep doing and being who you are and showing the world of football that you can play too.
Absolutely right. A bravo from Brandi is credit enough. Really appreciate your time. Brandi Chastain, a World Cup winner. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much too. And congratulations again.
I'll pass it on to the girls.